If you want to know the absolute truth about the modern appliance industry, do not ask a salesman at a big box electronics store. Ask the guy in the dirty work boots. Ask an independent appliance repair technician. These men and women spend 40 hours a week tearing apart the shiny stainless steel boxes sitting in your kitchen. They see the melted circuit boards. They see the shattered plastic gears. They see the engineered failure points that corporate marketing departments spend millions of dollars trying to hide from you. And if you ask any veteran repair technician what kind of appliances they have in their own home, you will notice a striking pattern. Their kitchens do not have Wi-Fi. Their refrigerators do not have tablets bolted to the doors. They run old, ugly, analog white boxes. Because the people who fix these machines for a living have a blacklist. They know exactly which brands and which specific features are mathematically guaranteed to rob you blind. Today, we are opening that blacklist. I am going to walk you through the 5 worst engineering crimes hiding in the modern appliance aisle, the specific brands you need to avoid at all costs, and the dumb machines you should buy instead. Number 1 on the blacklist, the Samsung Smart Refrigerator. Walk into any big box appliance store, and the centerpiece of the refrigerator aisle is usually a massive $3,000 Samsung French door unit. It has a giant digital tablet on the door, internal cameras that let you peek inside from your phone, and a sleek ice maker built right into the top corner of the refrigerator compartment. To a repair technician, this machine is a rolling catastrophe. The primary engineering fraud here is a fundamental violation of thermodynamics, the indoor ice maker. In order to make ice, the temperature needs to be below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But the refrigerator compartment where you store milk and eggs is typically 38 degrees. To get around this, Samsung engineers mounted the ice maker inside a thin plastic box inside the refrigerator, and they tried to pump freezing air into it through a narrow duct. It is a thermodynamic nightmare. The plastic box lacks proper insulation. Every single time you open the refrigerator door, warm, humid kitchen air hits that below freezing ice maker. It creates microscopic condensation that drips down, freezes solid, and eventually turns the entire internal mechanism into an immovable block of ice. The plastic gears try to rotate the frozen mass, and they literally shatter under the strain. This flaw is so widespread, there are massive class action lawsuits documenting it. Repair technicians will tell you directly, never buy a refrigerator with an ice maker located inside the refrigerator compartment. If you want ice, buy a cheap bottom-tier refrigerator where the ice maker sits where it belongs, in the freezer. Number 2, the LG front-load washing machine. Front-load washers are marketed as high-efficiency, premium machines. LG dominates this retail space, but hiding directly behind the shiny stainless steel drum is a terrifying example of planned obsolescence. That piece is called the spider arm bracket. In a front-load washer, the entire weight of the heavy, soaking wet clothes is supported by a 3-pronged metal bracket attached to the back of the spinning drum. In a true commercial laundromat machine, this bracket is made of solid forged steel or heavy cast iron, built to survive decades of abuse. Forged steel and cast iron last where consumer parts fail, but in modern LG and Samsung consumer washers, this critical structural component is made from a cheap, highly porous cast aluminum alloy, commonly known as pot metal. This pot metal construction is the weak link. That pot metal bracket sits in a pool of soapy water, constantly exposed to highly concentrated synthetic liquid laundry detergents. A chemical reaction called galvanic corrosion begins immediately. Over the course of 3 to 5 years, the acidic detergent literally eats the aluminum alive. The metal becomes spongy and flakes apart like wet chalk. Galvanic corrosion eats the bracket from the inside out. One day you throw a heavy load of towels into the drum. The machine goes into the high-speed spin cycle, and that corroded spider arm violently snaps in half. The drum drops, smashes through the outer plastic tub, and destroys the machine from the inside out. The repair will be a $600 drum assembly replacement, which is more than half the cost of the original washer. Repair technicians know this. That is why they buy vintage Whirlpool top loaders or commercial Speed Queen machines that use heavy-duty steel transmissions instead of rotting aluminum brackets. Number 3. The GE Smart Range. The kitchen stove used to be the simplest, most indestructible appliance in the house. It was just a heavy metal box with a gas valve or a thick copper heating coil. A machine built to last 30 years without a single service call. Today, brands like GE, which is now owned by the massive Chinese conglomerate Haier, are bolting delicate computers onto them. The engineering crime here is the placement of the control board. Look at a modern high-end electric or gas range on a showroom floor. To make it look sleek and modern, the designers placed a massive digital touchscreen or LED control panel on the front or back of the unit. But ovens generate extreme radiant heat. They reach 500 degrees inside the cooking cavity, and all of that heat has to vent somewhere. Where does it go? Right out at the top of the machine, directly underneath or behind that delicate digital motherboard. They are intentionally placing a fragile, heat-sensitive silicon circuit board directly in the blast radius of a 500-degree oven. Over time, the constant cycling of intense heat dries out the electrolytic capacitors and melts the cheap solder joints holding the components together. When the range inevitably throws a cryptic digital error code and locks you out of cooking your own dinner, a technician cannot just swap a cheap mechanical switch like they could 20 years ago. They have to order a proprietary $300 logic board shipped from an overseas factory. And if that board is back ordered, you are eating takeout for 6 weeks. Number 4. The premium whisper quiet dishwasher. If you bought a Whirlpool or Maytag dishwasher 20 years ago, it sounded like a jet engine in your kitchen, but it lasted forever. The reason is simple. Older dishwashers had a built-in macerator, essentially a miniature stainless steel garbage disposal at the bottom of the wash tub. It violently chopped up food particles and blasted them down the drain line. Today, consumers demand whisper-quiet appliances. To achieve that silence, corporate holding companies removed the metal hard food choppers entirely. Instead, they installed a fragile, ultra-thin plastic impeller wheel driven by a tiny, low-torque wash motor. They rely on a delicate mesh filter screen to catch the food debris before it reaches the pump. But if you accidentally leave a single pistachio shell, a popcorn kernel, or a tiny shard of broken glass on your plate, and it slips past that mesh filter, it hits the spinning plastic impeller at full speed. Because the plastic is paper thin and the motor lacks the torque to power through obstructions, that single piece of debris shears the plastic teeth right off the pump assembly. Your dishwasher immediately stops draining, fills with stagnant, rotting gray water at the bottom of the tub, and you are handed a repair bill for a specialized wash motor assembly that costs more than a budget dishwasher. Number 5. The all-in-one Ventless Washer-Dryer combo. This is the newest and most expensive trap to hit the appliance market. Brands are pushing massive $2,500 machines that promise to wash and dry your clothes in the exact same drum, using a heat pump, compressor, and no external dryer vent. They market it as the ultimate luxury convenience for apartments and modern homes. To a repair technician, it is a thermodynamic death trap. When you dry clothes, the fabric releases massive amounts of wet, heavy lint. In a normal standalone dryer, that lint is blown outside your house through a 4-inch vent pipe. Problem solved. In an all-in-one ventless machine, the lint is supposed to be caught by an internal filter, and the moisture is condensed on a set of internal metal coils hidden deep inside the cabinet. But filters are never perfect. Microscopic damp lint bypasses the filter screen and sticks directly to those wet, sticky condenser coils buried inside the machine. Over a year of regular use, that wet lint turns into a thick, calcium-like paste that completely suffocates the heat exchange surface. The machine stops drying your clothes. It runs for 4 hours straight, cooking your electric bill, and your clothes come out damp and smelling like mildew. And the worst part is this: the consumer cannot access those coils to clean them. A technician has to completely disassemble the entire machine just to scrape the wet lint off the internal radiator. It is the ultimate planned obsolescence subscription model disguised as a luxury upgrade. The technicians know the truth. The entire modern appliance industry is an exercise in adding delicate, failure-prone complexity to fundamentally simple mechanical tasks. If you want to beat the blacklist, you have to execute the dumb appliance counterstrike. Stop buying machines with Wi-Fi modules. Stop buying refrigerators with ice makers in the door. Stop buying ranges with digital touchscreens. Find the cheapest, ugliest base model white appliance on the showroom floor with heavy, analog, mechanical knobs. You trade digital convenience for mechanical permanence, and you keep your money out of the hands of the corporate monopolies that engineered these machines to fail the moment the warranty expires. If you made it this far, hit subscribe. I cover the engineering frauds hiding inside the products you buy every week.